welcome to the Wrights Homestead. I am finally out here cutting all of these onions that I picked, oh gosh, 4 or 5 days ago, and finally gonna get them chopped up and put in the dehydrator. And as you can see, I have a ton of slicing to do, but it's got to get done. And the reason why I am going to dehydrate them is because I already have tons of green onions in the freezer right now, and we don't have a kitchen. It's still ripped out, so really the only thing I can do with them is to dehydrate them. And I let them kind of overgrow on purpose. So like the green part of the onion, they're green onions, obviously. So the green part of the onion is not edible at all because I let them overgrow just because I wanted some seeds, which I have a whole bucket of seeds. I'll show y'all in just a little bit. And I wanted the base of the onion to get bigger for the main purpose to dehydrate, because I want to make some onion powder. So that is what I am in the process of doing now, chopping up all these onions to put in the dehydrator. And I just got my smaller dehydrator out. I don't have my big Excalibur out because that's somewhere in a room behind all kinds of stuff. So I just it was easier to get the smaller, just plug in, cut on dehydrator. You know, there's no temperature or time settings or whatever. But I do know that onions take, as far as the past, my experience, that onions take about 12 hours to really dry out. So, you know, I'm going to get it started. It'll be done sometime early this morning, or I'll cut it off, you know, whenever I get up in the morning before I get ready to go to church or whatever. I will definitely be dehydrating this stuff outside though, because if you have ever dehydrated onions or garlic, you know you better not do it in your house, because then your whole house is going to smell like it, right? For a while. So yeah, we're going to leave this outside, and all of the neighbors can get a good old whiff of some onions. They might enjoy it. I don't know. But today has been really hot. It probably got close to 90 today here. No wind, no anything, just hot. So I worked till 2, came home, went inside for a little bit, because it was just too hot whenever I got home to start. So it's kind of overcast right now. There is a slight little breeze, so I'm like, you know, I need to get started chopping. So I came out here, started chopping. But there is one thing I do kind of want to talk to you about why I am chopping, and that is the fact that you know, everybody's talking about what's going on with supplies and everything. So it's not really about that, because we hear that from everybody. But it's just, you know, when we started this whole remodel from the hurricane thing, this project, ripping everything out and, you know, having to live in chaos, I was like, you know, I'm not going to store anything. I'm not going to stock up anything, because, you know, we got so much going on, whatever. Well, I don't think that was the wisest thing to do, to stop completely. Now, I have stopped, obviously, with a lot of the food preparation and stuff. Very little of that's been done for obvious reasons. But, you know, I probably should not have just stopped completely. And I will go back to putting some things on the shelf, like pastas, canned goods, soups, stuff like that. Household goods, personal hygiene stuff, to have that, because folks, we really just don't know where we're headed. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. You know, that has nothing to do with it, because it is what it is. No matter what side you support, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I don't see it getting better anytime soon. You know, I'm not saying it's not ever going to get better, but it won't for a little bit. So we still have to be prepared. We still have to be able to feed our families. And it's just me and my husband here, but we do have kids that live local. You know, so you got to be able to feed your families. You got to be able to take care of them medically if need be. Just have proper hygiene, proper, you know, everyday stuff we take for granted, we still have to have. So, you know, I probably shouldn't have took that little time off, but it's okay. It was only 6 weeks or so, you know, so it's not like a major thing, but I could have definitely been prepping a little bit more, you know, but I'll get back into it. I'm just, you know, when you live in a state of confusion like we are right now in this house, it's, for me, my mind don't think right when I live in confusion like that. It needs to be decluttered. My mind don't work in clutter, y'all. Is anybody else like that? It's like the more clutter around me, my mind gets jumbled up and I can't think straight, and it's like I don't even know where to start. I can't even process anything. And that's kind of, I guess, where I'm at in the house. But you still got to kind of get back on track. You don't want to not be storing things up and making sure that you have what you and your family is going to need for that time when you're not going to be able to get it or go to the store or whatever. We are coming up upon hurricane season already again where we live, and there's already some type of little disturbance out there. So we don't know what this hurricane season is going to bring to us. Thank God the past hurricane season we dodged quite a bit. You know, we did not get any storms, praise God. But each season is different. You just don't know what's going to happen, like with all these tornadoes that's everywhere. I mean, I got my personal opinions on that. I don't think that's normal. That's just not normal occurrences. But, you know, that's for another video. But same thing with a hurricane. You just don't know what's going to happen with all these strange weather anomalies we've been having, you know. So you just want to stay prepared no matter what stage in life you are right now, whether, you know, you're living in a state of mess like we are, or if your home is totally put together and you know, whatever, or maybe you're just a little bit tight on money and you don't feel like you can prep, you still need to be prepping and putting away something, you know, even if it's just $10 a week, you know, that's all you can afford, that's all you can afford, but that's $10 worth of supplies you're putting on your shelf, right? And that's what, you know, and that's all that matters, because when that time comes, it's not, I tell people this all the time, when that time comes and you're hungry, you are not going to care if it is organic or it's gluten-free or whatever, you know, unless you're highly allergic to it, but you're not going to care if it's organic or what, or if it has preservatives in it, because you're going to be hungry and you're just going to want to eat. So go ahead and get those canned soups, get those raviolis, those boxes of pasta from Dollar Tree or the dollar store even. I think they might even be cheaper at the dollar store now than at the Dollar Tree. But stock up, y'all. That's all I can say is stock up. We can make a lot of stuff for us, cleaners and even toothpaste and stuff. But when it comes down to food, you know, you can't just go make up something when it comes down to food. And also, y'all, start growing something. I'm just going to say that right now. Start growing something. I don't care where you live at or how you live. You can grow something. You can. They got all kind of stuff you can even grow indoors now. As far as grow lights and all that. So you can even take a room in your apartment, in your house, or whatever, and grow something. Grow your food. Learn how to grow your food, people. Find somewhere in your community somebody who either raises their own meat or has chicken eggs or poultry of some type, you know. Get those connections. You're going to need them. You're definitely going to need them. And if there's any way that you can start, you need to start. You need to start it. Every time we think that we're getting closer to it, something changes. You know, we got the rabbit cage and stuff, and we're like, oh yeah, but then we found this property. And it's like, oh, well, we really don't want to start doing all that here, and we just got to turn around in however long and move all that. So we haven't started that yet. But we plan on it. So just, you know, start small and start maybe growing your own vegetables, and then add maybe some poultry if you can. And then after that, maybe add something else. You know, you can do rabbits pretty much anywhere, honestly. You can do them in apartments even. Quail, you can do almost anywhere. That's just some of the things we're going to add. Even though we're going to have that land, we're still going to add that because it's some of the easier things you can do. And then we'll grow from there. But I don't want to sound like a broken record like everybody else, but if you're not already putting something aside, I'm not talking about money, that's important too, but I'm talking about if you're not already putting something aside on your pantry, in your pantry, you know, in some type of stock up, some type of prepper, pantry, closet, whatever, y'all are really behind the game. And y'all need to start now. It's not too late, but it's getting close to it. It's getting close to it. And if you have younger kids, or you plan on having kids, or you're fixing to have kids, or whatever, okay? When you see things go on sale, like diapers, pull-ups, anything like that, y'all need to invest in that, you know, because you don't know when that's going to become unavailable. And, you know, my personal opinion is if you could do the cloth diapers, you need to try cloth diapers. I know I didn't use them. My kids weren't in them, but we didn't, you know, we weren't in a time as we are now or fixing to go into. So that's something that, you know, I don't know, something you need to just think about. Maybe think about, you know, what our grandmas did, great-grandmas even maybe, and we're going back to those times, people. And we're going to have to know some skills. We're going to have to know a little bit of self-sufficiency if we even want to even cope with what the world's fixing to throw us, right? And I'm only being real. One place that I do like to get a lot of my stock from is Azure Standard, and I'll order from them once a month. It's a monthly co-op. If y'all haven't heard of Azure, I'll link it below. But it is a monthly co-op, and you know, you find whatever your drop-off location is closest to you, and once a month they come and deliver pretty much anything that you could ever imagine for your house. And you can get bulk orders, you know. So if you want to start stocking up grains or stocking up canned goods or whatever, you can order bulk through them at some fairly good prices. And most of their stuff is organic. They have a lot of gluten-free, non-GMO, a lot of stuff like that. but it's a you know, it's a food co-op, but they also have all kind of household stuff. They have stuff for your animals. So, you know, it's something to check into if you haven't. Like I said, it's a once a month thing. You make your order and they'll tell you what day it's going to be delivered, and you just meet the truck there at that specific time. Y'all load up and take off. I mean, I've never been at a drop-off location more than, I would say, 30 minutes maybe, you know, because everybody gets there. They kind of help unload the truck. And, you know, the way we do it is we put it in alphabetical order. And then once the truck's unloaded, everybody loads up their car and they leave. So I guess it would just depend on how many people you have at your drop-off, on how long it actually takes. But like I said, I've never been more than 30 minutes it's taken me to get my stuff and go. So something to look into, because a lot of stores are not getting shipments of stuff. Now, they will run out of stock on things, but it's not like the stores. So that's another option you can look for, especially if you have certain food allergies or, you know, diets or something that you need to follow. As Your Standard is a really good place to look, because they have those specialty foods. But I will link that below. I'll put the little link on there so you can check them out if you want to. But I am going to continue chopping my little fingers away here with all of this onions. These nice, they smell really strong. It's gonna be really good onion powder, I think. I wish I had my camera on the other day. I picked one and I was showing it to one of our neighbors, and my husband came out and he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's like the biggest green onion ever." And he took it. Okay, it was clean because I just like washed it. But he took it, y'all, and he just took a bite out of it like it was an apple. You know, it was one, the bulb, I guess, was about like this. I mean, it's pretty big for a green onion, you know, but I let them grow like that on purpose this time. But he just took a big old bite of it. He was like, "Oh my goodness, this is like the best onion flavor that I have had like ever." He goes, "It is so spicy." So, I don't know. We're going to see how the onion powder turns out with this. He could only like, I think he took like 2 bites, and it was like, that's all he can do. He had enough onion flavor for that. But y'all, I'll probably have enough onion seeds too. This is just on the one I'm cutting, but I got a whole little pail filled with the little tops. So I'll probably have a lifetime supply of green onions. Probably do. But I'm gonna finish chopping all this, and when I get ready to put it in the dehydrator, I will bring y'all back on with me. We'll put it in the dehydrator, and then we'll go from there. I'll see y'all in just a little bit. Well, we are back with the onions, and I came out this morning before church, and they weren't ready all the way, so I just left it on while we went to church, and then when we got back, checked them, and I think they're ready. Pretty sure they're ready. There might be 1 or 2 pieces that's not completely ready, but they have been in there a good, I'm gonna say 16 to 17 hours dehydrating, which it's one thing about like these dehydrators, there's no temperature or no timer that you could set. You just cut it on and let it go, and so it just kind of varies. You just have to check it, make sure they are completely dry before you do anything with it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start taking these onions, and I got just my little Ninja blender here, and what I'm going to do is just start putting all of this in here. Then I'm going to grind it up, and we are making onion powder. That's what we're doing with these onions, y'all. And I think it'll make a pretty good amount of onion powder. I'm not sure. We're going to find out. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take these trays, which it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trays of onions. Pretty full too. I'll put as many as I can on here. And that could be why it took a little extra time too, also for them to dry out all the way, is because it was super full. So I'm gonna continue to empty the rest of these trays, and then come back and show you the process on what it looks like after I grind them up. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, so here it is filled. A little over a cup, I guess, of dried onions, and we're fixing to go plug it in and grind it up and see how much powder that this will make us. All right, here you go. Dehydrated onions turned into onion powder. So I will add this to my other jar that I have somewhere packed up in my house. I will add this to it, but this is homemade onion powder, and it's that easy, y'all. All you do is you dehydrate your onions, make sure there is absolutely no moisture left in them, and then you put them in your Ninja or another strong Loki. He is in my tomatoes again, y'all. Or another strong, just a strong powered blender, and you just blend it until it is into a powder, and that's it. You pour it in your jar and you have fresh onion powder grown from your garden, or any organic onion that you might get at the farmer's market, or if you find a good deal of at the market, or at your store or whatever, if they're running a sale on onions, hey, before they go bad, make you some onion powder. It's that simple, super easy. So until the next video, y'all have a very blessed day, and we will talk with y'all later. Bye.